Greetings, every peoples. My name is ToonKriticY2K. I'm the dude who reviews tunes. This episode was boring as hell.
You seem a little bit miffed there, ToonKritic.
This episode was so incredibly boring that I didn't have the energy to do my usual intro. Yawn.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
Wait, Toon, don't you mean YAR?
You're gonna love doing that pirate thing throughout this entire, friggin' podcast episode, are you?
Oh, yes. Anyway, welcome to the podcast, everyone. Today we have a very special guest with us. You know him as the Smeg of Lister. Smeg of Listerine. I am so sorry.
Smeg of Listerine!
Oh my god. Well, here's the thing, they probably don't know him. Because Lister of Smeg is kind of a new guy.
Yeah, but, no, beat Lister of Smeg. He is an art...
GG.
Good timing!
That was Max! God damn it, AY. But no, Lister of Smeg is an artist and a reviewer, and it's nice to have you on the podcast. Why don't you say hi to people?
Here's to you guys for inviting me on here.
Yes, Lister Smeg did a Roundtable review Gravity Falls picture, and sort of as a trade-off, he was going to appear on here to talk about Pony Point of View. So, you know me, let me introduce everyone else here. We have Voice of Reason.
Alright, I just want to see if this works.
What are you doing? Voice.
Did it work?
We didn't hear anything, Voice. What are you...
I
guess it didn't work.
Son of a bitch.
Nothing.
It was the clip from Titanic. Well, the ship can't sink. Sploosh.
We have Lightning Bliss. What the heck was that sound?
I think she just...
I think she just exploded.
Well, Lightning Bliss is
dead. No, wait, there it is. There it is. Okay, then.
I'm not dead!
Everyone thought you were dead during the pre-show.
I'm not dead! Nobody was asking me questions, everybody was talking, so I was
Like
sitting
always, the spotlight must be on me, for I am Lightning Bliss, duh. Anyway, we have Golden Fox and Keyframe.
Who said that?
Well, hello everyone. I am Golden Fox. As you can see, I've gotten a much better, much more attractive voice for my videos. And this is my lovely girlfriend Keyframe. Say hi, Keyframe. Say hi, Keyframe.
Are we airing the podcast right now?
Say hi, Keyframe.
No, I want the answer here.
Yes, we're on.
We've been live.
No one told me.
Oh my
You
god!
could have just said little tap on the shoulder, Brett. We're starting the podcast. You didn't do
Oh
that.
jeez. Lovely start to all
We're
this.
watching the Doobie Dash review. Anyway, we got our special man from across the pond.
Wow.
Ninja.
Yar har fiddly-dee, being a pirate is all with me. A and Y is really salty. You are a pirate.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, what are you doing?
Captain
Yes.
Blissey, we must ship again.
You can say as much as you want about me not paying attention. You should have grabbed my attention first.
Oh, okay.
It's all good.
No, I'm just like you guys were just going on while I'm just watching a video.
Just calm
Pay
down.
attention,
We
you
also
silly
have
bud.
The amazing...
Don't criticize me saying that I wasn't paying attention.
Hey, this is going on YouTube. Can you calm down?
Everything goes up on YouTube. Anyway.
Go to Xmas people just so you can calm down. Oh.
Anyway.
I cookies afterwards.
British Ninja is officially joining us after many attempts, after many sabotages and Operation Roundtables. He's finally decided, you know what? Let's just put him on here at this point.
I mean, if you can't beat him, you join him, honestly.
Honestly, yeah. So,
No, it's not beat him, join him, beat him, have him join us.
Yeah, beat him, live in infamy as a meme, and then join them.
yes, so, let's finally get this train rolling, shall we?
Voice of Reason's here.
You forgot voice! You forgot voice!
No, I said voice of reason, and then he did a goofy clip.
Let's meet our good friend Keith, who we never forget.
I started this off with Keith. But this is what we get for doing this live for all these people. You know, we just fumble, we flip flop, flippity floop. All right, we're just gonna get this started. Let's start it off with eeny meeny miny mo. Let's talk about the toe. If you are smack on the biscuit, eeny meeny voice.
Huh? Oh, starting off with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I'll say this. The moral is very good. Like, long-time friends still need to work on communication. I think that's a very good moral for kids.
I think we've just seen that.
Yeah, communication is
I just want to
key.
ask a question. How many situations in the show would have been resolved if the pony just stopped and talked?
But that would take away the whole point of the conflict, and the episode would just end.
break the show.
I know that, but the fact that this moral sort of addresses that, it kind of sees that in hindsight. It's like, wow, just think of all the situations where they just had to stop and talk, and just now they're talking about it.
That'd be rather boring, though. I mean, it'd be normal, but you imagine all the conflicts. That...
I mean,
Yeah,
it is
I know.
a kids. I mean, it is a kids show, so it
Yeah, I know. I didn't know. I'm saying, like, hypothetically.
Yeah, I mean, but I like that they took that route. It's a route we haven't really seen before, and yeah, you just I mean, we've had moments like that, our circle of friends, where none of us would talk to each other, like one or two of us wouldn't talk, and then
Why
we'd tell
don't you
somebody else,
talk
like,
to each other?
why you gotta be so rude? But yeah, it happens in real life, and if we all could just learn to get along.
Blast some Bob Marley, get all happy.
Be friends.
So, do you have more to say, or are you gonna pass it off to your best, tallest friend?
Oh wait, no, I'm passing it off. Let's pass it off to our host, Toon. You're up.
Okay, so thing I did actually like about this episode, I was initially worried that with the whole 3 stories at once thing, we weren't going to get something, we weren't going to get a coherent story, but we did, and it was actually kind of funny how that went off. I think the funniest thing I liked in this is Applejack's Yes?
Keyframe is dying.
I'm sorry.
Everyone's dropping stones.
Oh god, I need water. But no, I'm choking on the bullshit A&Y just sent me. But...
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so I love Applejack's perspective here, especially how she views Pinkie Pie. Seeing Pinkie Pie just show up with like this look in her eyes was hilarious. This is how you think of Pinkie Pie? Like,
This is
really?
how you think of your cousin?
You're not going to like my negative point.
I thought that was hilarious, and then how she thought, like, how Rarity, like, talks, "Oh, darling, you simply darling. Oh, I'm sorry, darling." Just adding darling at the end of everything. I'm just like, this is a very stereotypical view of your friends, AJ. I hope you realize that.
It's obvious that all 3 of them were embellished stories. Like, they were all hammed up to make the person speaking it, Applejack in this case, look better, so of course she would portray...
It looked a lot better. It looks a little bit more believable.
I think Applejack probably had. Shocker, the element
Pirate
of
Jack.
Pirate Jack was the best thing about this, I have to say.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Sketchy the Changeling would shut up about how
you're
AJ
thinking
stole
more
his
than one point. Stick
No,
to one
I'm
point.
saying I'm sticking with that. That's I'm talking about Applejack's perspective. So, I am going to. Okay, finally, I get to do this. I pass it off to British Ninja.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Feel good? Doesn't it feel great?
Because he's actually here
Yes.
now.
Let the hate flow through you. Okay, now the one thing that I choose to highlight, they both come from the ending, the things that I like and dislike. The fact that they never actually went out to sea and they shipwrecked like in the docks, that is hilarious. Like all of them portrayed this epic adventure vast at sea, and they're like 2 feet away from.
You
the
didn't
dock.
even leave the dock. GG.
Yeah, you were like at the harbor. That was hilarious.
That was good.
Like just that one highlight moment. I was like, okay, well done, episode. You earned a brownie point. Okay, I'ma pass it off
Pass it off
to
to your best friend. Pass it off to your best friend.
There's no positive.
You're right. I'ma pass it off to Golden Fox.
Oh,
Oh my god. So King of the Vaporeon is saying there's no positives in the episode. That's very close-minded to say.
What is
Anyway,
one
let's
thing you
move-
liked about Pony Point of View, Fox?
Yeah, okay, I'll get to what I liked about this episode. First off, how many of you think this episode reminded you of that one Johnny Bravo episode where Johnny, that little kid, and that one nerd kid were all into a fight?
Oh,
And they,
Susie the neighbor and Tom Kenny.
yeah, like how many of you how much did that remind you of that?
I don't think I saw that one.
I don't think I remember that.
Actually, this reminded me of an episode of Skunk Fu.
Ah.
But back to Johnny Bravo. No, I don't know what the girl's name was. She was explaining her side, and the Johnny was
Sally, I
explaining
think?
his side. And
Sally
even
or
with
Susie?
her, what?
I think it was either Sally or Susie.
Either or, you get my point. It was the same formula that was done in this episode. The difference, and this is what I like that at the end of the episode, when they worked with the formula, they recreated the experience to actually show what what actually happened. In exchange of words, getting different points of views across, and not just having choice of words, which I believe is what happened in the Johnny Bravo episode. Like, okay, they're explaining that side of the story. This person's explaining this side of the story. No, let's actually go there and actually you get what I mean.
Yeah.
I get what you
Yeah.
mean, and I'll disagree, but I'll save that for a little bit.
This is going to be more divisive in this podcast, isn't it?
I have a
Maybe.
feeling.
Okay, who are you passing it off to, my dear?
Anyways, I'm going to pass it up to Lightning Bliss.
Why do you people hate me today? ANY is sending me obnoxious audio files. You people keep skipping me. What have I ever done to you? I'm a little cinnamon roll that deserves
Oh,
love.
did you slap him? Did you hear that? I thought you slapped him.
See, I am the cinnamon roll here.
Okay, so cinnamon bliss. What is the thing you like about the episode?
Did you slap
I really
Fox?
enjoyed. I really enjoyed the visuals of this episode.
Oh.
They had a lot of fun with the Bering Sea for each take on each pony's side of the story, and every time I watched it, I was seeing something new and something more inventive with the animation. Like, I could have sworn there were some 3D effects with the boat being steered on the shore when you got like a wide view of it. Yeah. I noticed that the animation was flawless in this episode. It was just clean and smooth, and hey, we get a new creature in the series. What did you call it?
A bunyip.
A bunyip.
It was so cute. It was like a dog.
It was absolutely
Or a sea lion.
adorable. Yeah, it was like a cross between a sea lion and a sea dragon or something.
Bunyan.
But
First
yeah,
thing I thought. First thing I thought when I saw that, Nessie.
I was kind of thinking Nessie, but
I was thinking Steven Magnet's retarded cousin.
Oh,
I really enjoyed the animation, and the facial expressions were awesome. And yep, so I will pass it off to the one only Frame. She's a
Aw.
little pig.
Oh, what did this want to be? Okay, but first of all, screw you, ANY. Anyway, back to my point.
Oh, jeez.
The thing I liked about the episode was the comedy. Like, overall, I think this episode was just a really harmless episode. Like, it wasn't anything special, but I thought it was cute. But the comedy, I think, was the best point about it, but it's going to go subsequently into my negative, but that's later point. I love these types of stories where you see the embellishments of characters and basically gives us a reason for them to act out of character, or the exaggerated versions, especially to kind of get a look into the mind of what does a friend think that they are. And I loved Applejack's Pinkie Pie and hers just because everything was cross-eyed. And then I love Pirate Jack and the fact that
This is literally what I've been saying. You stole my... Now you're just trying to piggyback off my
Applejack's
point.
fantasy looked like Rose from Titanic.
Mhm.
But
Well, that explains who's the Jack in the relationship.
Oh my.
Stop that. But
Pains
no,
me like one of the Earth ponies.
I find it really, and even the jokes that weren't in the flashback stories, like the pets bringing the messages and the fact that Pinkie just wrote the message onto Gummy. there were just cute little tidbits in it. I mean, like, we already know the Fox brothers can write Rarity and Pinky really well and stuff, and they can surprisingly write Twilight well, which is surprising because the last time they wrote Twilight, they barely used her.
Applejack's Day Off.
I just love how Twilight was safe in her wording too. Like, she was really careful how she worded her stuff amongst the three others because she knew they were already angry with each other, already bitter. She didn't want to get angry at her in the process, so she was really careful in wording herself. I'm like,
I guess my compliment is the comedy from all the characters were on point. I don't think there was a character that was particularly unfunny. I mean, you have annoyed humor from Spike, you have the awkward humor, you have, like, the straight man humor from Twilight, and then you have, the other three. So it's like, I thought it was a very funny episode. And so I'm going to pass it off to the only person that's left to be passed off to, A&Y.
Oh my god.
No, we're sorry about that, Lister. We try not to have...
Why would you insult our guest?
Okay, Listerine, give us your give us your compliment of the episode.
All right. With this episode, you mentioned the scene with the animals bringing the messages. I've noticed. I'm starting to catch on. We're spending more time in the castle this season than the last.
Yes, we are.
Like, this bugged me about season 5. The point of Castle Sweet Castle was you make a place feel like home by making memories there. But after that episode, we were hardly there for the rest of the season. Most of the time was just for map shit. Like, the only other times I remember, there was the one where Pinkie Pie knows with the guest room and shining armor. Was there any others?
There might have been.
But I see where you're going with that. So yeah, I think I would agree with you.
Oh, Scaremaster. Anyway, this season we've had a lot more time in the castle. We've had entire episodes that take place in the castle. We've had Hearthwarming Tale, Dungeons and Discord, and the last episode, Every Little Thing She Does.
Yeah.
And now we get this amusing scene with the pets. At this point, I'd say the castle's grown on me.
Yeah.
I've liked the castle since the beginning. I like it more than the library.
I didn't hate it when it first came out, but
I personally don't mind.
But the point of Castle Sweet Castle not really being followed up on much in the rest of season 5 annoyed me.
Yeah. I want to say, and adding on to that, I remember that so many people, when the castle first showed up, saying, "Oh, it's just a toy, it's just a toy," but it's actually become a really important environment to deal with in a lot of the episodes.
Yeah. The show's about toys.
But yeah, since you're the last one, you can say the one thing you didn't like.
All right. I don't understand why Applejack blames both Rarity and Pinkie Pie when they each only blame one pony. Like, I think that's jarring to the story flow.
Yeah.
Like, each pony Twilight and Spike talk to blames one pony and recommends consulting the other for vindication, not knowing that pony blames her.
I think I see why they did that, though. It's because, well, she can't blame Rarity because Pinkie Pie's already blaming Rarity, and she can't blame Pinkie Pie because Rarity's already blaming Pinkie Pie. So it's either she can only blame herself or blame the two of them, and that would make it different. Gesundheit.
I don't get it.
Pinkie blames Rarity. Rarity blames... Oh, I messed up.
Yeah, don't worry. We get the point. We get the point.
Yeah, you get their mind. I'm just gonna shush and sit back in my...
Like, I think her account of Rarity's reason for wanting to take the map was stupid. The tablecloth thing.
Yeah.
That was dumb. And her perception of Pinkie being obnoxious and dim had more to do with the cause of the accident than Rarity just being a queef.
That's a new one. So was that your point?
Yeah.
All right. So
Key, what did you not like about the episode?
Not playing that ANY. Anyway, the thing that I didn't like about the episode, okay, so I really liked the comedy and the different moments. But this isn't something that I've noticed with the Fox brothers after the Gift of the Mod Pie.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of now what Josh Haber was in season 4. In that they make okay episodes, but they're just really safe. And with this kind of episode where you can embellish and be farcical, and I mean the whole point of, I mean Twilight even points out everything sounds not right. It sounds embellished. So it would even make more sense to go with the super farcical thing instead of just these very tiny little things. I feel like there was a lot more potential for this episode to be. A good example is if anyone's ever seen the show Kappa Mikey. There was an episode where they had the cast. It was basically like a whodunit story, and everyone told their version of what happened. And it was super exaggerated to the point where things were like in different art styles and all that stuff. Or the episode of Emperor's New School where they do that with Yzma, Kronk, Melina, and Kuzco. And that's what I love about whodunits, or where you have characters that are telling different perspectives. You can be super exaggerated, do different art styles. I mean, the show's done different art styles before and everything. Like, Rarity's story could have been told in a thing that looks like how she designs clothing, or Pinky's could have been done with puppets, or, you know, Applejack's could have been looking like it was drawn on wood or whatever. It felt to, I mean, I guess that's not a bad criticism of that, because it was still good, but I really wish they would take more of a jump. Like, you have something really good there, use it to its fullest advantage. I feel like they only went.
Key had a point, but apparently Skype wanted to derp, so, Key was saying, herder, this episode sucked, herder. What the heck just happened?
What happened?
What happened? That's what I want to know. Key was at a good point.
Oh my.
Wait,
Yeah.
how much did you guys miss of that?
Quite a lot.
A little bit.
Hang on, I'm trying to get Bliss back into the call.
Bliss
Okay.
kind of
To
died.
reiterate what I said, I basically feel like you could have done so much with this kind of episode that you can go completely farcical, do like art style shifts, be exaggerative, and have a lot of fun with it. It felt like they only went halfway with it, so I feel like the episode from that perspective was a little bit too safe. And I mean, you have an alicorn that can do. I know that that magic shouldn't solve everything, but I do feel like when you have the alicorn there, and you know that you have them calm down and be like, you should be better at communication. A good resolution could have been maybe she cast this spell that accessed all three's memories and shown what actually happened.
That would have been interesting. Like, okay, I'm going to show all three of you,
okay,
and it shows the entire things. So, Rarity, what were you saying? Pinky, what were you saying? That would have been
I mean,
hilarious.
like, I feel.
This is gonna link into my point. Definitely.
Yeah, so I feel like they played it a little bit too safe with that. And Y sent me a little thingy.
By the way, Key, I asked the entire chat if they wanted to hear that. It's a unanimous yes. They want to hear what ANY has been sending you.
Well, he said. Well, the thing is that the program that we use deletes the audio files after a little while.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well,
Is it safe?
It's so it doesn't hold the files on my phone.
Is it safe?
But
for
here's what ANY wanted to send.
I just want to point out, I sent Keyframe my contribution to the roundtable, but she didn't play it, so I'm very salty right now. Just for the record.
I was right.
I made ANY salty.
ANY is totally salty. You are a pirate.
I was sending me pictures of puppy dog eyes and him and sending stuff saying like, "You didn't play the thing. Why didn't you play the thing?"
That's my
pray for
sorted.
Can we get a pray for ANY?
can we get a redo?
Hashtag pray for ANYA. But anyway, here's let's move it on back to my favorite boy, Ninja.
Oh,
It's
okay.
my turn!
I was gonna say, go back in reverse.
See, I inadvertently did a ninja joke. Old habits die hard. Off to you, Blissy.
I think ANY is the new British Ninja.
It
Oh,
is. The
God.
crown's been passed.
Oh my god.
Anyway, let's. Oh God. Anyway, what did you not like about the episode, Bliss?
I honestly don't have anything really negative to say on it. Other than that, I guess in a way, I'm just gonna nitpick on what Boy said from the very start, and that this all could have been avoided if they just spoke to each other.
Why don't you
I know
talk
that's
to
just
each other?
It's a simple resolution of talking to each other, and a lot of their complaints were really, really petty, in my opinion. And I thought from the very start they kind of all knew that they all wanted to get outside their current norm, and that they all agreed they wanted to get out of their norm. And obviously they're going to want to do things differently, so why assume that they want to do exactly what you want to do that's out of the norm? But again, that is a minor nitpick, because again, this is a children's show and we wouldn't have the circumstances that we do now, so
True.
Now I will pass it off to
Golden.
It was me.
Goldie.
Goldilocks.
I will point out that that what Keyframe said about it not so much as being in the safe zone, but just like part of like when it comes to like having fun with the characters and such, that is something I'm willing to give the episode credit for. However, the thing I really did not like, and I'm sorry to disagree with you, Toon, I did not like Applejack acting like a pirate.
Oh,
I
come
was cringing
on!
so much. It's like, har, I'm being somebody who I'm not. And it's one of those things that make me cringe in cringe comedy. I get that's the joke. Just because that's the joke, that doesn't mean it will work. And this is the same thing I didn't like about Simple Ways, when Rarity was being something who she wasn't. Everybody was calling out on it.
I think that type of cringe humor is done not just for the cringe, but also to show how incredibly bad it is. I think you can laugh at how bad it is, depending on the situation. But I'll give you that. AJ Pirate was a little on the cringy side.
The other issue behind that is that Rarity was villainizing Applejack way too hard, and while the other characters were villainizing other characters, it almost sounded a little bit more reasonable, and not just Applejack is mean and mean and mean.
I mean, Vicky also imagined that she had like an entire legion of people carrying Rarity's luggage. So
I mean,
well,
like
that's because
that's
throughout the
inaccurate.
episodes of Rarity involved, she would carry a lot of stuff with. Now, let's not forget to mention that she made Sweetie Belle carry like a carriage of stuff in Sleepless in Ponyville.
true.
So there are things that actually did make sense, but the way they were going about it with Applejack, it was just like, he was a bad person, and I'm going to show how bad this person was. And it's just like, I was cringing so much at that. Like, Rarity, your story is full of BS. Applejack, stop being yourself. Stop acting. You're not Jack Sparrow.
I'm sorry, Fox, but so many people were disagreeing with you, so I started the hashtag. Hashtag
Alright,
walk the
Disagree
plague,
with me.
Fox.
if it's the only thing I would say that gives leeway a little bit is that if any of them are going to like over-exaggerate a story, you know it's gonna be Rarity. Of course, like she hams up every single detail about the
Oh,
plot.
I'm gonna talk about that when we get to me then.
Not if I talk about it first.
No, I called dibs. Dibs first, man.
Well, you should have.
Wow. You
I
guys
called
really
dibs.
want me to walk the plank.
Well, Toon, here's the thing. If you wanted to go
Goldie,
before
it's
me,
okay,
then
you can fly.
Toon, if you wanted to go before me, then you shouldn't have passed it off to British Ninja. It's a simple thing. It's
Do you want your first day on the job to be your last, kiddo? Just saying.
Please no. I can think of many Germans who would rather take my job right now. So.
Oh,
He's got your
jeez.
number, Zach.
Oh.
Okay, so.
Wow, are you seriously asking for fan art of this?
Fan art of Golden Fox walking the plank? No. If anything,
Alright.
Sweetie.
if we're gonna get any fan art, please draw us as pirates, because we all love pirates.
Yeah,
Now you're villainizing me for having a different opinion.
I'm kidding with you, Fox. You're allowed to have
I
your
wasn't
opinion.
talking to you, I was referring to the chat.
Oh, to be fair, I
Pass it
started
out to
it.
whoever went before me.
Hi.
That was British Ninja.
That was
Alright,
okay,
hi.
so I
Pass it out to you.
I have a little bit of a thesis written on the dislikes of this episode. It's all
One
focused on
thing.
one point. It's okay. Okay, to start off, have any of you guys seen Hoodwinked?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yes, I really like that movie. My favorite part is that even though it does the different stories thing, it has a running thread of continuity between the stories. Like you can see stuff that happens in Red's story happening in the background of the Wolf story, and that's cool. And the Fox brothers, back in Gift of the Magpie, they were shown to be really good at taking an old story like The Gift of the Magi and revamping it. But in this case of the episode, I don't think they did as good a job. Now, and it all has to do with the ending scene, where they don't actually show what happened. And, like, we found out how the boat sank, but every embellished detail, everything they said in between that was brought up there, they didn't go anywhere. They didn't show any of it. They didn't show what actually happened. With 3 differently embellished stories, there has to be at least one true version which lines up with the facts. And because we know that they were acting out of their, like, embellished versions of themselves, embellished versions of how they would actually act, and they don't show what that true scene was, every single time they repeated that scene in each and every stories, they were pointless. It didn't go anywhere. They were fighting over the map. No, it was completely useless waste of time to show that scene over and over again and not have any kind of payoff or resolution at the end of it. And that is my thesis on why I didn't like the ending bit.
No, it's a good thesis. I give it a B+, sir.
Ah, thank you. Is that a beef British?
Yeah, yes, maybe.
All right. Hey, well, if no one disagrees, then I guess I'll pass it off to ToonKritic.
You know, I remember during the 3 Rarity episodes that happened back to back that I started to like Rarity again. I like that they gave her some character. I like that they were able to make her funny. This episode did the opposite of that because Rarity was a complete idiot. This is, I mean, everything that happened with Rarity in this episode is why I don't like Rarity. They took the bits of that and made that very clear. That, and I guess I could understand from Pinky or Applejack's perspective that side of Rarity is flanderized and put up to, like, the nth degree of how stereotypical and obnoxious that can be, being all dramatic and fussy and all this other stuff. But even so, Rarity tried to make herself look like she was the one that, like, deserved all the pity and everything, and I'm just like, you know what? You are that one friend. You are that one friend that ruins everything, regardless of whatever you do. Pinky is the friend that's just trying to have a good time. Applejack wanted to have a good time too, but no, Rarity, you're worst pony in this episode. I hope you realize that. Anyway, I'm gonna pass that back to Voice.
Oof,
All right.
Woo! Salt.
Okay.
More salt than the
Okay,
sea
so-
they're sailing in.
Arr!
Arr.
It's gonna be the
And-
Dead
and-
Sea in a minute, mateys. Arr!
All right. The one thing I didn't like about this episode, and I know sort of the point, it kind of just ended the whole. It just kind of like the whole build up to the story. To the true finales with the reveal of the bunyip and the whole knocking over the cucumber sandwiches again, it just kind of stopped.
Did anyone feel like that was shoot in at, like, the last minute? Because that came literally out of
Okay,
nowhere.
I'm gonna be honest. They pulled the sea monster out of their ass.
Well, there was an
Technically out of the
illustration of
ocean,
it.
but
There was an illustration of it on Applejack's map.
Oh, was there? Oh,
Was there? Oh.
I spotted that on my second viewing.
okay.
My first
Actually, I
viewing, was
take
like,
it back. That's pretty cool. That's at least a little bit of setup to that.
Yeah.
That could possibly.
Okay,
happen.
never mind. I take back what I said.
Still see
Yeah.
it, but that's kind of like there was a picture of a llama in the Northwest Mansion, so of course Pacifica's the llama. It still feels a little bit far fetched.
You are
Yeah.
really upset
Well,
about
it
this
still
again,
works
this
with the
ninja
Chekhov's
llama,
gun.
huh?
Chekhov's gun?
What? Say Ninja?
I was gonna say, like, Keyframe is really harping on the fact that Blissey got, like, a ninja llama for DeviantArt.
Anyway.
Really?
But anyway, yeah, the ending just kind of felt like an anticlimax. Like there was, like the resolution just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, like. Again, like what I was saying, it wasted so much time repeating the same scenes that didn't really go anywhere. I think it had no choice other than to just
Honestly, what actually there are 2 episodes that this also reminds me of. One I talked about was the episode of Skunk Fu, where it was Skunk, Fox, and Rabbit were trying to. I think they lost their teacher or whatever, and they all had different stories of what happened. And it turns out, their master was just sleeping in the forest. But the other one was the episode of Time Squad where where Oscar, Larry, and Todd Russell all came back from their their Attila the Hun adventure, but each one of them had different stories. But of course, Oscar had the right story. But what I wanted to see was like something in common with each one, and the only thing was, again, the cucumber sandwiches, knocking over the map, and then the swell. But again, like something consistent between each one that they could at least latch onto, other than cucumber sandwiches and what.
I can't imagine that'd be tasty.
It's not awful. I mean, if you put like mayonnaise and the watercress, is actually not that bad. It also depends on what type of bread. Wheat usually goes best with cucumber sandwiches. White, not really.
I spot a goat. A goat is in the chat.
A goat is in the chat.
Mimi.
But yeah, I think that's what I have to say about what I didn't like. I'll quick put up the Google Doc for everybody in the chat in this group.
Awesome.
I give this episode a yar out of heart.
Yar out of
I give this episode an A and Y out of 10.
I
so
wouldn't put this in my top
that's-
10. I'll say that.
Yeah, I
It's
would
a-
not.
Middle of the road, you know?
It's a filler episode. It was harmless. It was kind of stupid, but it's not god awful.
Yeah.
It could have been
I
worse.
some
I mean,
comments saying that they don't like the point of view formula, which is understandable, and then they're saying that the episode was like very stereotypical.
okay, you want to know how to do this episode right? It's simple. We did it a few episodes ago. It was the Rarity Boutique episode.
Saddle Row Review.
Saddle Row Review.
Saddle Row
That'll
Review.
bro, yes.
That is how you do this kind of story correctly. You have a bit more style, like the interview style was a lot more stylish than simply swapping to a different person's story.
Otherwise, what I like to call it the Office episode.
That was a pretty good episode, though. You got to admit.
I loved it. Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyone else put their thoughts?
You know
Well, I meant
what
like in the
think?
rankings.
Oh, poo. My bad.
Well, you know what I think?
What?
I think we all forgot about one big detail about this episode.
What?
What? I'm afraid.
Twilight put ice cream in a rusty old goblet that was underwater.
That's another thing. They just so happened to find the treasure in the end,
Do you
too.
not know how contaminated that thing is? There could be a spider in there. Just,
Oh yeah,
And I have to say, I didn't know ponies like saltwater ice cream. Good night, everybody.
All right.
I think salt is just a repeating theme in this podcast.
So, I think with that being said, join us next Sunday, as usual, when we talk about an episode called Where the Apple Lies. Not going to say what that's about. We will be having...
You can guess what it's about.
You can guess. Now, I had a
I'm
poll.
super excited.
I asked you guys who you wanted to have most on Roundtable is Magic next. Master Code won that poll. However, he's unavailable this entire month, so we settled for second place, which is Robin0928. So
oh my.
Robin.
he will finally be joining us on October 9th, 5 p.m. Central. Now, I pointed this out in the pre-show, and I'm going to point this out since this is going up on YouTube. We are aware that the UK is going to be airing the last of Season 6 next week, and by the time Saturday rolls around, everything up to the finale will be done. That is not going to stop us, because we are still going to continue to do these on a regular weekly basis when they come out and over here in America. So, if you ask us about, did you see the finale yet, we're going to wait, and we're going to play this out how we normally do. So,
Yep.
we here at Roundtable's Magic don't like leaks.
Yes, we don't.
Especially
Well,
when
it
you
is my-
really have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
while
really
it is my
sucks.
country's fault, I do not like the leaks either. Like, I don't... a Stephen Bomb formula doesn't really work with a show like MLP.
And I think it's all fair to say we blame British Ninja.
Yeah, it's all British
Yeah.
Ninja's fault. I'm sorry, guys. I had to.
See,
I got
but-
paid, but
See, the memes have changed. British Ninja is now ANY, and now British Ninja is being blamed
yeah,
for stuff.
I'm
like
getting
it.
blamed while ANY becomes the meme. What kind of round table? What kind of the tables have turned? I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, how can you turn a round table when the table's already round? Answer that question in the comments.
Oh, how the
section.
turntables.
Oh god.
If you made it this far, put a hashtag make roundtable ANY again, and good night, everybody.
Yes.
Right.
That being said, I don't need to tell you guys to watch because you already are watching. So I will see you guys on Tuesday for when I do. Oh yes, actually yes, Tuesday at around the usual time. We're doing some Halloweeny Mario Party stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, skeletons.
Hey, can you do that multiplayer?
Yeah, there is some net play issues, but we mostly just bet on the computer.
Oh, okay.
It's still fun, though. Anyway, thank you guys for turning out for this. You all have been awesome. We will see you on the next Roundtables match.
Oh my god. I
I'm
see
not gonna
comments
ask.
in the
We're just gonna end it there. See you guys later.